Hi, I'm Kathy from the Delafield Quilt Company, and I have a fun little bunny project to share with you today. Hi, again, I'm Kathy. Welcome if you're new here. For this project, you're going to need some scraps of fabric. I've got some black, some mint for my background, some pink for the inside of the bunny ears, and some white for the bunny. You're also going to need this free pattern. It's a foundation paper piece pattern that you're going to want to print on a really lightweight paper. I like to use specific foundation paper, and this pattern is available at our website at delfieldquiltco.com under free patterns and resources. And I do have a few other bunny, egg, Easter related patterns out there. So if you're interested, you might want to just check what else is on that page. And on your pattern, you do want to print it out at 100% so you can get that 12.5-inch unfinished and 12-inch finished bunny block. All right, now I'm just going to start out by cutting all of my pieces. This takes a little bit of time because there are several pages here, but I'm going to speed it up a little bit. That goes a lot faster when you put it on fast forward. All right, I'm going to start with the very bottom of the bunny, and I need these 3 pieces here. And I do want some flat head pins. I find that these work really nice when I'm doing the foundation paper piecing because the flatness of it really just kind of keeps everything nice and flat, yet keeps your pieces together. Okay, I'm going to start with the white piece, which is the middle of the bottom here. And this is the larger piece. And on your pattern, I did put what color corresponds with that piece right on that piece. On this one I didn't, but as I was going through the project, I thought that probably would be a little bit helpful. So this first one, I'm just pinning this pattern down, and now I'm going to trim the piece to the pattern. Now most of the pieces of this foundation paper piecing is multiple pieces of fabric. This one is just a single piece that I'm going to cut out to match the template and then sew it to those other 2 templates that are all on that bottom. That's just unique to this part, but when we get to the rest of the bunny, it's going to be a little bit different. And I am using my ruler to line up as carefully as I can on that dark black line, and then I'm cutting right on that line with my rotary cutter. Okay, now that I have that main piece done, I'm going to do the same for these background green mint colors. And I'm just going to place 2 on here as best I can. I think I'm just going to keep turning them until I can fit them so I can conserve my fabric here. And then I'm going to pin them down and do the same process that I just did with that middle white piece. All right, now that I've got these 3 templates cut out, I'm just going to make sure I've got the left on the left and the right on the right side. And then I'm going to line them up very carefully to make sure that the template edges line up. And it should create a 45-degree angle. And then I'm going to put a pin to keep it in place and sew right on this dark black line. And since we're working with foundation paper piecing, I do recommend using a pretty short stitch on your sewing machine. I'm going to lower this down to a 1.5. And here I've sewn right on that black line. It's a little hard to see because of the white thread. And just to fold it open quick so you can see what it looks like. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to attach the other side in the same method I just did this one. And just like before, I'm going to put a pin in it, and then I'm going to sew right on that thick black line. Okay, now my base of the bunny is done here. You can see how it's sewn together, and I've got these nice 45-degree angles. I am going to leave the paper on this for now and then just set it aside. Okay, I'm going to grab my biggest piece next, and all the pieces are labeled with different numbers, and the ones that you print from online should have the corresponding color. I'm going to need a mint green for this one. I'm going to need a very large piece because it has to be able to cover the entire template. And I'm just going to pin this in place since it's the first piece, and I'm pinning it so the wrong side is on the wrong side of the template. And then I'm going to grab my other pieces that I'm going to need. I'm going to need a pink, and I'm going to need a white. That's going to make the little bunny ear. And I want to make sure when I'm picking pieces that it goes well beyond the edges of that particular part of the template. All right, once I have my pieces picked out, I'm going to flip this over here so I have the right side of the fabric facing up. And then I'm just going to bend the next line in the pattern, so the line between section 1 and section 2. I'm just putting a little crease in there because you can't really see it from the other side. And then I'm going to place the white piece so it's right side down on top of the right side of the mint green. And I want to make sure it goes 1/4 inch beyond that folded line. And then I'm going to sew right on this line. Okay, now that I've got that piece sewn, I'm just going to take the pin out, and then I'm going to fold the white piece open and give it a little press. And then I'm going to carefully trim off the excess. I'm going to make sure that the paper template is folded back and that the fabric I don't want to cut is out of the way. And then I'm going to cut 1/4 inch from the seam line that I just sewed. And then I'm going to just fold that white piece back open, give it a press if it needs it, and then I'm going to attach the third piece in pretty much the same method that I did earlier. I'm going to pull back the piece, fold it at that next line, the line between section 2 and 3 this time. I'm going to line up right sides down my pink piece and make sure it's 1/4 inch above that folded line. And then I'm going to pin it in place and then flip the pattern over, and again I'm going to sew right on that line between section 2 and 3 this time. Okay, now that this one's sewn on, I can flip it back, make sure it looks okay, and then I'm going to trim off the excess and give it a nice pressing. And again, you want to make sure your pattern's folded out of the way, and any fabric you don't want to cut is out of the way as well. Okay, now that I've got that pressed, I'm going to add the final piece in the same exact manner that I did these other ones, folding it back, making a little crease, and then adding it 1/4 inch above that folded crease line. And then I'm going to sew it on just like before. All right, now that I've got all the pieces of this template sewn on, let me just show you how I trim the templates down. I want to make sure that I have that 1/4 inch seam allowance. The templates do have that on the lines, but I'm going to use my ruler and just line up that 1/4 inch so the ruler edge is right on that dark edge, and it should be 1/4 inch that's on the line of the pattern. But I want to be consistent with that, so if the pattern's slightly off, sometimes patterns can be, I'm just going to always use my ruler as my consistent mark. And then I'm just going to trim all the way around the perimeter of the template. Now I'm not going to go through and show you how to put all these pieces together because there's quite a bit. But I'm going to keep on sewing, come back and show you how to assemble the bunny. All right, so I've got all of my pieces assembled here, and now I'm going to sew my bunny together. I did refer to the image of the bunny because there's so many pieces. It was a big puzzle when I was all done. But if you find it hard to put your bunny together, take a look at the reference photo, and that might help get him in the right spot. And here he is all sewn together. At first I thought he was pretty cute on his own, but then the joke in my house was he looked a little creepy. Now I did put the pattern out early on a YouTube short, and so there's been people downloading it, and every time it would download, my husband and I would be like, oh, another creepy bunny. And we really can't have a creepy bunny out there, so I decided to add a few accessories, a couple pairs of glasses, a bow tie, and a flower. And I'm also going to add some teeth and a little eye sparkle to this bunny to make him less creepy. So to do that, I just need a few pieces of fabric. I've got some black fabric here and some white fabric, and then some fusible webbing that I'm going to use on the back of that to get this to attach to the bunny. And I like to use the light heat and bond for this. So I'm just going to cut out some pieces, put some heat and bond on the background, and then I'm going to cut out my accessories. And apply heat and bond if you've never used it. It just takes a little bit of iron heat to get it to stick. Make sure you're following the instructions on your heat and bond or your fusible webbing. And then I'm just going to cut out my templates. I'm going to use this pair of glasses here, and I'm just cutting it loosely around the perimeter of here because I am going to then pin it to the piece of fabric, and then I'm going to cut the paper and the fabric all at once so I don't need to trace it. And for the eye sparkle, I think I'm just going to do a jelly bean shape that I'm just going to hand draw on the back of the fusible webbing. And then I'm just going to fold the piece in half so I can cut two at once. And now for the teeth, I'm just going to make like a big fat W to get two buck teeth for this bunny. So I was going to go with glasses on this bunny, but now that I see these as sunglasses, I think this bunny needs to have sunglasses, so I'm going to go with that. All right, now that I got this bunny all done, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with it. I might quilt him and put him in a little quilt project, or maybe make a pillow out of him. Well, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed this project, and if you haven't yet, please visit us at delphilquiltco.com and have a wonderful day.